It's your guy who was never lying, sometimes defiant. TP Way, the giant man. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is another big blue crossover with my man, the Juke. The Juke, how you feeling?
Listen,
Talk
I'm
to
feeling
me.
good, man. I'm feeling good with the dart era. As you see in the title, man, we got the dart era coming through. We're undefeated right now, and I think we're
Yeah.
gonna keep that streak going today for sure. We're gonna keep that streak going today for sure.
So we this is our first time chopping it up, man. Since really everything has went down, since the Charger game and really stepping into what we call in the dart era. Are you all in? All right. Is like, was this win all you needed to see? Like, tell me like what is on like your mind going into this Saints game and just how you feel right now before we have this matchup at one.
Yeah, man. I would say, and shout out to my guy Vocal Vike in the chat. Appreciate you for tapping
Yes,
in, brother.
sir.
I would say, man, like the rookie quarterback does give excitement to the fan base, and I think it did rejuvenate the team a little bit. I think it did. That Chargers game specifically was up and down. I will say. I mean, my emotions were everywhere. Losing Malik Neighbor stinks, and it definitely stung that game itself to play a whole second half without him. But I will say, Jackson Dart did what he needed to do to get the job done and win the game, and that's what you want to see out of your quarterback. Let me try to find a way to get a win. A lot of people scrutinize a lot of quarterbacks because of their stat lines and what they do. But if you could escape out there with the win, especially being a Giants fan, that's what you want. So heading into a Saints matchup that they have a stout defense, but it's a lot more favorable than that Chargers defense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what Dart can do. And I'm excited to see them actually trust them with throwing the ball. That's what I really want to see today.
So did it rejuvenate you though? Did it make you feel like, all right, this is what I this is what we needed to turn this whole thing around? Are
It
you still approaching with caution? Like, how do you see it?
I'm definitely approaching with caution. I'm
Okay,
definitely approaching
okay,
with
all
caution.
right, all
But
right. Just
honestly,
checking.
it's not even a slight at Jackson Dart. It's a
Right.
slight at us being a Giants fan. You know, from year to year, we win a game that we probably shouldn't win. You know that.
Yeah.
0-3 Giants against 3-0 Chargers, and we take them down. Listen, I had us finding a way to win, right? Like I wanted us to win.
Mm-hmm.
But they tend to do this from time to time. Let's not play down to our competition. I don't think the Saints are a better team than us. Losing Malik Neighbors once again stinks, but we should be able to take care of business today. Take care of business today. 2-0 in the dart era, and yeah, I'm gonna be full blown steam ahead.
Okay, so let me ask you. I don't want to jump too ahead, but I gotta ask this question because I want to kind of get the real like understanding of just where everybody, particularly you, where your mental is. I asked this to my man Born for Sports yesterday. I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
We won the Charger game, okay? Hypothetically, let's say we go 1 p.m. today, and we handle this game, and we beat the Saints, right? We have the Eagles next. Let's say hypothetically, we beat the Eagles. Is that enough for you to be back all in? Or is it the same approach for you to just say, look, caution. Just I'm still gonna approach this thing with caution.
If Jackson Dart finds a way to start off 3-0 in his career after the Giants started 0-3, all the pressure's on Brian Dayball, and we beat the Eagles on Thursday night because we do got to flip around and play him on Thursday night. I'm all in. I'm all in, hands down. The guy got to be balling for that to happen. I'm all in. I'm not. I'm pushing caution to the win because keep in
Okay.
mind, right? Like keep in mind, we're talking about possibly playing Bo Collins as our wide receiver 3 right now, or slash Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see how he utilizes his weapons. But if he finds a way to get it done against the Saints today, flip around and beat the Eagles, I'm all in. It's not even a question. We don't beat the Eagles regularly. So for our rookie quarterback doing it in his first start against a good defense, I don't want to jump too far ahead, like you said. Nah, I'd definitely be all the way tapped in with my guy JD.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. I just like throwing that out there, man, because I mean, hey, it's possible. You
It
know what I
is.
mean? It's not impossible. And we do have the momentum right now. So I just kind of wanted to touch bases as to how we would feel if things go right, if things go the way we want them to go. And I also want to know like what it means on the other side of things. What would a loss versus the Saints mean for us at this point in time as well?
I will say I think it really depends on what we see from today. Would it entail us losing like a catastrophe, like not being able to
Yeah,
stop that? Keep in mind, y'all. I just did my preview on Friday. Spencer Rattler hasn't won a game as a starter yet. Let's not be the first defense to let that happen. Regardless of what Jackson Dart got going on the offensive side of the ball, he hasn't won a game as a starter yet. Let's not be that first team. And I think if we're going to end up winning these games, the defense has to show up the same way they showed up last week. Like we can say that the defense has shown up for the most part, besides that Cowboys game, which that Cowboys game still got me sick that we lost that game.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the defense has been limiting the offense from scoring points. Yardage wise, they're not doing great. But as far as putting up points, I think they kept teams under 22 or 23 for the most part every other game. So the defense needs to show up. If we lose a game against the Saints, I will say I'm going to have a lot of question marks in probably the offensive play calling once again. We took advantage against the Chargers, but we got 2 turnovers that the defense gave us. What does that
yeah,
offense look like without it? Now, I don't want to operate in a manner of negating those things, but let's say the defense doesn't get a turnover today. What does the offense look like? Are we moving the ball consistently? Are we a different offense?
yeah.
Excuse me. Are we a different offense? So
hmm
yeah, that's kind of where my mind's at.
Yo, I'll say this, man, and I see in the chat. Well, first let me address this chat, man. I see y'all in here. First of all, yes, man. Good
Sure.
morning, good morning. Uh, look, man, Vocal Vikings in the building. He has a matchup in about like a few minutes, which I'm gonna
Oh,
be
they're playing
tuned
another
into.
international. I forgot. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that is a fact. So yeah, definitely Skull Vikings. That's definitely a team that I love to see, do their thing, man. So go ahead, Vikings. Y'all hold it down today. Kenneth Perkins is in the building saying what up. Money Mike, I see you. That is a fact. He says game day, baby. Yes,
Let's
it
get it.
is game day, man. It is game day, and we excited for it, man. Purple and gold bars. Another dope Minnesota Viking content creator checking in, saying what up. Skull Vikings. My man Ian. My man Ian says go big blue. That is a fact. Money Mike says we need Tyrone Tracy to get going like last year. Him and Cam could become deadly. Yes, I know the last thing that I've seen with Tyrone Tracy Jr. is that he's doubtful for today's game.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I can't wait till he do get back in the mix of things, man, because yes, this just adds another element to everything. But shout out to my guy Iman Perry is in the building. Purple and Gold Ball says, you know what I've been saying about Big Blue, TP? Let's go. Yeah, man. Purple and Gold Balls has definitely been somebody who, respects, what we have going on, on this side of things. So yeah, shout out to my guy, Purple and Gold Balls. And then Born for Sports, man. Born for Sports, who I chopped it up with yesterday in my live stream, says, good morning, fellas. Salute to you guys and salute to the chat,
Sure.
man.
Yes,
That is
sir.
a fact. Shout out to Born for Sports. And C. Ramos. C. Ramos became a YouTube member, I think, of the Juke, man. So definitely shout out to C. Ramos, man. Definitely. New York Giants salute to you. Money Mike says Saints is the easiest game on our schedule. If we lose to
Sure.
them, Dable will be fired this year for sure. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. There is no reason why we should lose versus the Saints, man. My man AJ Lee, he is boots on the ground. He says, "You're in NOLA now, bro." Yes,
What's
man.
up? That's
Shout
what's
out to
up.
my guy AJ, man. Please make sure that you represent. And also, man, I do want to shout him out and just say, get with him, man, for all your catering needs. Him and his wife, he throws it down. So it's only
There you
right
go.
that they are there in NOLA, with the good eats and all of that. I'm pretty sure they cooking something up. So shout out to my guy AJ. And Purple and Gold Ball says, don't expect consistency from the offense just yet. They will do more than enough today. And in a couple of games, the offense will look away more efficient. So to piggyback off that last comment there, one of the things, man, that I just really hope to see, man, in this New Orleans Saints game is that passing attack. I want to see what we look like putting the ball in the air. The first game without Malik Neighbors, can we scheme something up? Can we do something in the passing game that says, you know what? All right, maybe we have a little something working on our end. Jalen Hyatt has been a big conversation piece to that. We know we need a receiver to step up, with the absence of Malik Neighbors. What is your confidence level in that aspect in the passing game? Do you think that we're going to be able to get things cooking this game? Or do you have faith in it? Does this receiving core, look favorable in your eyes? Talk to me about that, man.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not confident in the receiver department. I'm not. I'm really not.
Okay.
Every time I hear Hyatt's name, I'm wincing a little bit because I think we've done this too many times where we're hoping, and we kind of just don't see it happen. Whether it's
Yeah.
Hyatt or whether it's a team,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty over Hyatt. But I will say it's not more contingent on the receivers for me. I want to see if Dart can make it work with the receivers that we have. I mean, no one's replacing Malik Neighbors. It doesn't matter what trade you're trying to make. It doesn't matter what receiver you try to pick up.
Right.
No one's replacing Malik Neighbors.
Right.
That's a non-negotiable. But I think what you saw out of last week in certain plays, right? Because once again, I do think they didn't go full blown airing it out, which is smart. Scatterbo was running the ball well. Dart was even running the ball well, even though he needs to start learning how to get down. Everyone's talking about him sliding. He's not going to slide at this point, man. The man just falls forward, just drop. Daniel Jones ran for a long time and never learned how to slide. He just ended up giving up his body. So hopefully Dart learns that. But I say all this to say is that you saw some off cadence throws by Jackson Dart where
Mm-hmm.
he'll run off to the side. He's the one where he calls Slayton to come back. You seen the one where he ran up the middle, prompting the linebackers to come up and threw it to Hyatt. I mean, look at me talking about Hyatt. I hope it's Hyatt. Neighbors, where he threw it to Neighbors in the middle of the
Yeah.
field. I want to see more off cadence throws like that because that's how you kind of throw your receivers open a bit. Find a way to manipulate the defense and ultimately get your guy open. So Slayton needs to be, obviously what he's been the last 5 years for us, man, where he was the best receiver and he's been doing his thing as a wide receiver one. Not Neighbors numbers, but I do hope that he takes advantage of the opportunities, man. Wandale is another one where he's going to have to step up for sure. But
Mm-hmm.
any production out of a Hyatt or Bo Collins is going to be huge. It is going to be huge. But
That's a fact.
if I'm telling you who I really need to see is Theo Johnson. Be a security
Mm.
blanket for my guy. Theo Johnson needs to be a security blanket for Jackson Dart early on. He needs to be.
Well, look, man, Theo Johnson I need consistency out of Theo Johnson. And I really need him to lock in, man. Cause if it ain't one thing, it's another with Theo, especially at that tight end position. That's something that I always, pay attention to a lot. Theo, he had a game where he had the cases of the drops. Then he also had a game where his just blocking wasn't there. So all in all, man, I'm definitely, I'm definitely on Theo Johnson's, case right now, man. I see my guy Kenneth Perkins, mentioning, Thomas Fedoni, who I would agree, man. I do want to see Thomas Fedoni being utilized more, man. I want to see him with a jersey because all of this preseason, there was so many things, man, in the preseason that I get it as preseason, but I do feel like there were so many things that happened that I feel like could benefit us and help us now in the regular season that we kind of got away from, man. The list is long. Y'all heard me speak about, using my man Elijah Chapman as a fullback, something we seen in preseason that we haven't seen in the regular season. Thomas Fedoni, something we have seen in the preseason we haven't seen in the regular season, utilizing him. Montrell Washington, Juice Wells Jr., Kenneth Perkins. I see. He also mentioned that, which is something I've been saying consistently. Those are receivers that I feel like could really, help us out in this moment of time. But won't be doing so. So it's just things that I do, question as far as what I believe could help us now that we've seen in the offseason that kind of teased us. So it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, man, like, okay, what are we going to do to complement that to say, all right, this is the reason as to why we made these certain moves? And one of those things is, again, Jalen Hyatt. We decided to hold on to Jalen Hyatt. We decided to see things through with Jalen Hyatt. So my thing is, if we're putting so much stock into Jalen Hyatt again, I need to see something. Like I need to see something that says that Jalen Hyatt belongs. If not now, then when? So that's definitely something I'm going to be paying attention to this game. I just really, I mean, we can't have consistent games of just running the ball, running the ball, and running the ball. It was good for the Chargers. We attacked, their weak point in their defense. That was cool. But we have to put the ball in the air and we have to do it in a consistent manner. On the other side of the ball, man, is defense. I mean, that's really the
Yeah.
core of who we are, man. Um, Real quick, I do want to mention this point, and it made me think of this. You asked me in one of our earlier streams who did I believe was going to be the sack leader for this team,
Hmm.
and I said my man Brian Burns. And right now, he is not just leading this team; he is leading a league.
Yeah.
Please speak to me, man, about this defense and how you feel. With us gaining momentum in this last game, it seems like we kind of turned it up a notch. I mean, where's your mental when it's regarding the defense?
Yeah, man. I'm hoping for another performance like last week because games like that are just fun to watch. The main
Yeah, for
reason
sure.
why it's fun, and especially for us, is because the way our D line looked against that offense is how other D lines used to look against us. They used to take advantage of us
Yeah, yeah,
wholeheartedly. The quarterback had no time in the world. We kept throwing out that Mahomes can't stand behind a line like that. Last week, with the way the defensive line was moving, no quarterback was going to be able to stand back there and obviously perform throws the way they should. So Brian Burns, to your point, once again, I had Abdul Carter in the team in sacks. He hasn't got his own sack yet, but he pressured the quarterback a lot last week. Brian
yes,
Burns has been just different this year. And I told everyone last year, a lot of people felt like Brian Burns was overrated, but he was the most consistent pass rusher last year, and he was playing hurt. Right
yeah,
now, he's healthy. He needs to stay healthy, and he's playing with other guys that can affect the pass rush as well. I
yeah,
think that's only helping him tremendously. I think he had 5 or 5.5 sacks right now, which is awesome because we're heading into week 5. He's averaging a sack a game.
yeah,
The man's on pace for 17 to 18 sacks. So shout out to Brian Burns for sure. But I just want to see, hey, Dexter Lawrence had a coming out party last week. We've been talking about Dexter Lawrence these past couple weeks. I know you mentioned him gaining weight possibly with being a father. The man almost had a pick six. Like
yeah,
that, the vibes were just really like that good last week, especially in a home opener for Jackson Dart. So shout out to Brian Burns for sure. He's been balling, but Dexter Lawrence coming out and making plays is what you want to see. And someone that's going to get kind of overlooked is Kayvon Thibodeau. I think Kayvon Thibodeau has been playing well as well. I think he
Come
has three
on,
and a half
man.
sacks to his name, and we're looking at him as our third best pass rusher. Kayvon Thibodeau has been that good. So Brian Burns, still that rookie. I still think he has a chance to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. We still got a long way to go. He pressured Herbert a lot last week. I want to see him get his first sack, man. Get his first sack. Try to get my man Spencer Rattler in the ground because their offensive line is hurt. Their center is out. I believe their offensive guard is out as well. So got to take advantage the same way we did last week. Shout out to the defense
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, man. I mean, anytime the offensive line is broken down, and I was someone, and I know a lot of us believe that we have one of the best defensive lines in football. We need to look like it.
Yeah.
We need to look like it. Like,
Yeah.
forget what is on paper. If they are not, all hands on deck up front, then we need to dominate. Our defensive line needs to take over. But the defensive line does get a lot of the talking points. But look, man, I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. Somebody who I really want to recognize is my guy Drew Phillips, man.
Yeah.
Drew Phillips, man. He absolutely put on a clinic last game. And I just think that he is one of the most underrated players, man. Just really in this game. I think he is going to be a big piece of the pie, versus the Saints today, man.
Mm.
Tell me a little bit about what you've seen from Drew Phillips and how you feel that he's playing this year.
Yeah, man. I feel so the guy makes plays. I feel like it's a roller coaster right now, right? Where a lot of our other DBs are not great either. Paulson Adebo, I want to see him get an interception. He's dropped a couple already on the season. But Drew Phillips has been in coverage and he's been making plays. He has 2 interceptions to his name. That's when you think about last year, the drought that we had for a DB to get a pick, it took forever for us to get an interception. And he had an interception last week that truly changed the game. He got downed right
Yeah,
at the 5 and the Giants ended up
yeah,
scoring. So Drew Phillips has been playing well. I want to see him stack on that heading into this game. And it's not going to be a easy game for him. He got Shaheed on the other side of him. They like to use Chris Olave everywhere. You might see him jump into the slot where you see Drew Phillips guarding him. I just like that he's up for the task, man, because I'll be transparent. This whole conversation, his name really started to get brought up a lot when CeeDee Lamb started throwing out Drew Phillips' name, talking about how he hurt him last week and people were looking out for that matchup. And I hated that penalty call on the tackle on CeeDee Lamb.
yeah.
But I think it was personal.
Terrible.
I think he took it personal because CeeDee Lamb's over name dropping Drew Phillips. Like that's it's a crazy world we live in right now. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see what Drew Phillips can stack on it heading into this game. Once again, if he finds a way to get his hands on the ball again with another interception, the guy's the best DB on the field. We felt that last year. This year, once again, I think after what game was it? The Cowboys game or oh no, the Chiefs game when Tyquan Thornton had a couple catches on him or a defensive pass interference. It's hard to play DB in this league, so that's why you're going to see a lot of up and down performances. I'm hoping he continue to stack up on that and only build his character even more because playing as a DB, man, you got to forget about the plays you just made,
Yeah,
move on, and capitalize on the next one. That's the biggest mindset you need to have. We said that about Deontay Banks a couple times, but we can see with Drew Phillips, it's a little different. It's a little different for sure.
for sure, man. Listen, everybody that is tuned in, that is rocking with us this morning. First of all, shout out to y'all. Please make sure that you do like this stream.
Oh,
Keep the comments going. But most importantly, man, please make sure that you subscribe to each and every one of us, man. Look, I am TP Way. You can subscribe to me at TP Way the Giant. And also, you can subscribe to my man, the Juke, at the Juke, as you can see on the screen, man. So make sure y'all hold it down on y'all end. Get these subscriptions up. Subscribe. So, I will say this, man. Vegas actually has,
no.
the Saints winning this game and has us, as the I guess the underdogs in this. Um, I I feel a way about that. I also feel a way that what's I'm having a brain freeze. Spadler, whatever, however you pronounce his name.
Who is that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Spencer Rattler.
Oh, rather. Yeah.
Yeah, this little boy, man. I never liked him. First of all, if y'all don't even recall the Netflix
Yeah.
show that was out,
Yeah.
I didn't like him since then. But Spencer Rattler, he had a little piece to say, in the media about kind of how vanilla this secondary could be.
Yep.
Um, I really wasn't feeling that. Um, and I'm also not feeling, I was looking at the fantasy rankings and things like that, and they have Alvin Kamara as the number one running back to start. Out of
Mm-hmm.
all of the running backs, they have Alvin Kamara to start as far as fantasy is concerned. So all of these things, man, that's just like, all right, I see that they trying to get me my bark back a little bit,
Yeah.
because I don't really like the disrespect. But when it pertains to the Saints, man, I mean, what is your confidence level in this, man? Like, are you in that mode where you feel like there needs to be some type of bark back to all of this noise? or are you more even kill? Because I know you know me. I'm
Yeah,
more of
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
barking type. You are the more of the vanilla type. But
Yeah.
where is your mental when it comes to like the little bit of outside noise, man, going up to this game?
Now for me, I think I wouldn't want it any other way because I don't care about what Vegas got going on. I mean, when you think about last week, to check what Vegas had going on last week, that didn't change a thing when it came to the game. So this was the one game that you felt like the Giants would be favored in. If there was any game on the season, it was this one.
Mm-hmm.
The winless New Orleans Saints, who's playing, they drafted a rookie quarterback. They're not playing their rookie quarterback yet, contrary to us. So I do think at the end of the day, they can say what they want, do what they want. Spencer Rattler, that's the one thing he's good at is talking. That's the one thing he's good at, like you alluded to since the Netflix series. The man just talks. That's all he does. I want to see it on the field, and he haven't shown that yet consistently. Now, I'm not going to say, I'm going to be honest. He has put up a fight against other teams, especially through the air, but
Yeah.
I'm going to need to see it. I'm going to need to see it. I'm going to need to see it against a D line like us. I know someone just, right here, the entertainer talking Giants, this crazy name. He just alluded to it in that, right? The Chargers were missing two of their star tackles. I don't care what it is. What's good for my guy plays for keeps. I don't care what it is for the other offensive line. You know why? Because no one cares about what we got going on our offensive line either.
That's a
Andrew
fact.
Thomas was out a good chunk. We're playing
That's a
guys at
fact.
offensive guard, especially last year. Don't even talk about last year. So I don't care what they got going on the other side of the ball. The defense needs to take advantage. So I'm expecting to see that with the Saints team, and they have okay individual playmakers, right? You talked about Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara in the big 2025, man. I still think he's useful, but I don't think he's a top 10 running back in this league anymore. I definitely do think that they have okay playmakers, but like we talked about, it's the quarterback position, man. And I'm gonna flip it back to UTP because I've
Uh-huh.
been talking about it. I didn't get to hear it from you yet. What are your vibes with Jackson Dart? What are your vibes and what do you feel like after that first game? Because I do think there was an energy to that game last week. The offense didn't put up 40 points, right? They didn't run it up on that defense. But
Right.
I do think the offense showed some signs, and almost everybody said, if you put Russell Wilson in that game, we're not winning that game. What is your sentiment on that piece? How do you feel about Jackson Dart? Because I think you and I are the same, right? Well, regardless of how we feel, we support the quarterback that's playing football for us. That's what
Right.
it is. But
Yeah.
what is your confidence level in it? I didn't get to see you.
Well, I am gonna say this. I do think that this coaching staff let Russell Wilson down, and I'm not going to hop on a train like everybody else and act like Russell Wilson is the worst quarterback in this league. That's not the case. I'm somebody who watches the film. I'm somebody who breaks down the film in my way, shape, or form, and there's a lot of things coaching wise that I could say that did not help Russell Wilson, man. Um, so I'll start by saying that, but in the same breath and time, man, I will say that I believe we got us one, man. I believe we got us one in Jackson Dart. All going all the way back, man, to the off season. I was one of those ones who was disappointed that we picked up Jackson Dart because I really wanted Shador Sanders. And even then I said, I hope that I'm wrong. And I definitely feel like I was completely wrong. Jackson Dart, shut me up and shut a lot of people up, man, and made us put respect on his name, and I absolutely love it. I think he is an absolute dog. He has that intensity that I personally love. Everyone talks about his aura, and that stuff is cool,
Mm,
but I really love the dog that I see in Jackson Dart. When people talk about how he finishes his runs like slide, slide, I get it. I understand why people say that, and that may be the right thing to do. But I look, I love that. I love the way he finishes runs. Like
mm,
I'm gonna respect it until he starts coughing up the ball or getting hurt, right? But all in all, man, I think we have the quarterback. My only thing is, I think we're kind of being held back because we don't have the coaching staff.
mm.
And that's just really my biggest thing when it comes to it. I see my guy Iman Perry saying, he ain't shut me up yet. But I think this game was really telling because you got to think about it. There was a lot on his shoulders, a lot of just I would say pressure, man. You know, he may not have looked at it as pressure, but I would definitely say, man, like the Giant fan base was expecting for Jackson Dart to come in there
Hmm.
and, look the way he looked. And if he didn't, who's to say what would happen when it comes to the conversation of who Jackson Dart is? So he answered it well. Was everything perfect? No, it didn't have to be. It was his first NFL game of the season. I do would like to see Tom when Tom goes on. His connection and timing with the receivers and things like that only progressing.
Yep.
But the truth of the matter is, the big picture is he answered. He
Hmm.
answered in that big moment. He answered in the offseason. He answered in the preseason. I think he's the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because I only do think it's only going to get better. Like, I think that's what we have to shift our focus to. Every week, the guy's going to be improving. Every
Yeah.
week is going to be a new thing that he learns, a new thing that he feels. Because as
And
much as we
test
talked
it.
about
Yeah.
development, and keep in mind, I was the guy that yeah, when y'all were asking me when do we see Jackson Dart, I'm saying week 12, week 11, because I was hoping Russell Wilson comes in and wins games. That's what I was hoping for. I'm just
Yes.
be transparent with y'all, and that didn't work out. So they worked. They went to Jackson Dart. I think when you talk about developing off the field and developing on the field, two different ball games. Like, you can
Mm-hmm.
only learn so much from the side, man. When you're in there and you're actually getting game reps going against a good Chargers defense. The Chargers defense is the same defense that limited Patrick Mahomes, limited the other two teams that they played. I can't remember who they beat, but they were undefeated up until that point. So, alluding to what you said, right? Jackson Dart answered the call against an undefeated team after they benched the quarterback in favor of you. They benched the Super
Mm-hmm.
Bowl winning quarterback in favor of you. That was a lot of pressure. He took it on and still got the W. I see E-Man Perry saying that he's already hurt. That's the one thing I want to say, man. Like, we just can't run him to the same way we did last week. That's just my opinion. I know Brian Daboll likes to run his quarterbacks, but I think eventually it's not going to be able to last. That's what I want to say. I don't think
Yeah.
that's going to be able to last. We don't have Lamar Jackson, Jalen Milroe, even Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones having 10 carries. I want to like go back and watch and see how many times Daniel Jones had 10 carries, and it was like legit carries. It was read up,
Yeah. He
pulling
ran
the
a
ball.
lot.
It wasn't like scrambling and running, you know. So
But I do want to say this though, because I do hear people saying, like, I don't even look at Jackson Dart as being hurt. I mean, he just got banged up. He ran the ball a lot. You know what I mean? And it's not like he's not a healthy scratch. He's playing. So
yeah,
I don't really put him in the hurt category. I just think he got banged up. I mean,
I
he
didn't.
he had a heavy workload.
I didn't talk about his hamstring because he was flexing his hamstring
Yeah,
like at halftime and stuff. Which, like you said, I mean, he could just be banged up. It might not be like a pull of a hamstring or something. But
that's what I see.
yeah,
That's what I
but
see. Now,
I
if
want to.
something shows differently this game,
Yeah,
then okay. But he
I want to see him let it fly. I will say, I want to see him let it fly. That first deep ball that he's gonna hit, because he's gonna hit one. Like, he is gonna hit one of Slayton. It's inevitable. Because especially if he works on the intermediate game, throwing the ball across the middle of the field.
I want to speak to that though. I want to speak to that because again, man, there is just not respect on Slayton's name, man. And I don't like the fact that a lot of the things that Slayton is doing well is kind of being undervalued because it doesn't translate to a catch or it doesn't translate to a touchdown or whatever it is. Let's be honest on what we have seen from Slayton thus far. We've seen missed throws
Yeah,
headed to Slayton's way. He's done his job getting open. Again, I watched the film. Slayton gets open. Corners are out there having trouble guarding Slayton, which is why you're seeing these penalties each and damn near every game.
yep,
They're holding on to Slayton because this man gets busy. And so I just don't like the Darius Slayton kind of like disrespect. And when people say we need a legit wide receiver too, and it's like, yo, he's legit. I think we need depth in the receiver room.
yeah,
But I'm not going to sit here and say that he's not a legit wide receiver too, man, because Darius Slayton has been looking good thus far. And he's a consistent guy as far as whenever you need him, he usually shows up, man. So enough of that Darius Slayton disrespect. And hopefully I'm not putting my foot in my mouth and he goes
Yeah.
out there and has like a bad game today or some shit. But
Listen, we haven't talked
you
about him
know,
dropping the ball in a minute, and
yeah,
maybe I shouldn't even mention it, but we haven't mentioned that in a while, so let's keep that way. Like you said, you watched the film. I'm pretty sure you saw on that one post route where he gets pulled on. That's probably a
yes,
touchdown if he doesn't get pulled on, you know. And
yeah,
and that's that once again how we feel about Jackson Dart in this passing offense. If that pass play is completed, which we still ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive, anyways, I believe if that play gets completed and he scores a touchdown, we feel totally different about these wide receivers, about Darius Slayton. Like off defensive pass interference doesn't go towards the receiver's way in terms of stats, you know. So we'll look at his stats all we want, but that's a great play that ended up working for the offense. So I will say this one with this one last piece for me, right?
okay,
Brian Dayball, in my opinion, outcoached John Harbaugh last week in the sense of not making it oversimplifying it, right? I don't want to harp on the Chargers game too much, but I'm gonna use that going into this game. They didn't run the ball enough against us. I'm just being transparent. But the main reason why is because the Giants had the lead. How many games have you seen, TP, where the Giants led the game from beginning to end? And that's what we did last week. We started off hot, and that's what we did. That excites me because that's what opens up this defense of getting after the passer. They were effective running the ball, but they handed their running back the ball like 13 times. That's not enough. So heading into this matchup, man, do you have the same confidence level for this offense, not just this offense, but Brian Dayball and the crew to outperform the coach on the other side of the ball? Because I think John Harbaugh is John Harbaugh from the 49ers and Michigan, yada, yada, yada. In my opinion, man, that's malpractice. You hand your running back the ball 13 times. He rushed for, I think, like 8 yards a pop. He had 100 yards last week. So what do you think on that piece when it comes to coaching? And can Brian Daboll capitalize again against kind of not inexperienced, but almost a young coaching staff over there in New Orleans?
I have more faith that Santa Claus will come down the chimney with a bunch of presents than in Coach Dable.
Yeah.
Like Coach Dable is literally the the number one thing that I feel like is just holding us back from taking that leap. I think we have the roster, we have the players. I think the players, are playing with a certain level of an intensity that I would like them to have. I don't think that we are being coached to the best of our ability, man. When we talk about just offensively mainly, and Coach Dable is supposed to be an offensive guru, it's disheartening because really what won us that game was defense. Coach Shane Bowen, I feel like coached a way better game. That's who I, applauded when that game was all said and done. We still struggle in the red zone. Now, granted, yes, player production does have a lot to do with that, but I also believe that, man, when it comes to just drawing up these plays, I do not see it. I said this in the film breakdown that I have on my page when I was really talking about Juke Phillips. Even though the game turned out the way it did, I was watching the way the Chargers offense, was maneuvering and the play designs and how they scheme their guys open. And I was more interested in how they did things in the passing game than the basic rudimentary stuff that we do.
Yeah.
And that's just where I'm at with things. I feel like at this point, Coach Brian Dable has shown who he is. I'm done hoping for him to be something different. He is who he is. And I just think that he holds us back, man. I really do. I again, I love the roster. I think that we are a better team than what we get credit for. But again, man, if we can't go out there and out coach the opponents, then I just feel like, man, it's going to be a consistent disappointment.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how I see it.
Hey, I respect it. I respect it because, like you said, at the end of the day, when you look at our record the last 3 years, what is it? You know? So, hey, I will say with Jackson Dart, we want to know. That's the one record I'm gonna be looking at, man. Let's be 2-0 today with Jackson Dart. That's what I want to see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, man, I do want to say this, man. Everybody, please make sure that y'all, again, show love, man, and subscribe to each and every one of us, especially the Juke, man. I don't know if y'all can hear it, man, but this man is pushing through right now. You
Yeah.
know, not feeling his best, but he was like, look, man, we going hard, man. Like he's in goal mode and he's doing this, for the sake of just dope content and for y'all, man. So the least that we could do at this time, man, is just make sure that y'all subscribe to the Juke. Make sure that you like this stream and help this thing go forward, man. But yeah, man, I don't want to hold you too long because I know you fighting over there, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, just let
I,
me know. Do you want to get any closing words or
yeah.
like
I got
yeah?
I got a little closer. I'm asking chat to
Okay.
answer one question. Let me get a score prediction in the chat right now for this game. A
Mm,
score prediction, and I'll get my outro real quick.
okay.
I think this team right can feed off of a 2-0 start with their rookie quarterback. The Saints is the easiest matchup we're going to have all year. The Giants need to find a way to win today. They need to
Yes.
find a way to win today. And
Yes.
they're going to be in enemy territory. Jackson Dart's first road start, but we've had some good performances in that dome specifically. And even alluding to the past couple matches that we played, man. We could think about Kadarius Toney, Kenny Galladay. Then you got Odell. You got all these performances in the dome, man. Let's have another one of those, but let's make it a Jackson Dart story. I think a lot of people are going to get lost in whatever the Giants got going on with their rookie quarterback making their first couple starts, but this is history that we're watching. If
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Dart is the quarterback for the Giants, we can think back to what his rookie year looks like and his first couple matchups. So take that, be excited, be rejuvenated with this team, and especially if we win 2 games in a row. Because how many times does the Giants team win 2 games in a row? Heading into a Thursday night matchup against the Eagles, we need to see it, man. So I see the score predictions in the chat, man. If you're asking me what the score is going to be, I got it 24-18, 24-18 Giants over the Saints. Vegas can say whatever they want. We got no Malik Neighbors and Alvin Kamara. Start Alvin Kamara. I don't care what it is. Giants find a way to get the dub. And Jackson Dart, the Jackson Dart Giants
Yes.
would be 2-0 in his era, man. So definitely appreciate you, TV, for letting me jump on.
Yes,
Big Blue
sir.
crossover. You'll see us on my channel next week. Subscribe to the Juke. And actually Thursday I might be doing a live stream through the game. I don't normally do that. I might do that this Thursday. This is our
Okay.
only Thursday night game. So
Okay.
definitely TP, we'll see what your schedule looking like if you want to hop on for a couple minutes.
Okay.
But everyone in the chat, if you want to see a game, a live stream during the game, I'll probably be live during that game.
That's dope. That's dope. All right, man. All right, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, man.
Should
But
be dope, man.
yeah, I'm gonna say this, Coach Dable, man. Let me just talk to you real quick, man. Coach Dable, we already know we don't have to sugarcoat anything. Let's just let's remove the fluff from this conversation, man. You are on your last leg with things, and it is so improved time. So I need for Coach Dable to be the MVP through it all. I need Coach Dable to make sure that he is doing the out coaching. I have not seen that from him. I have not. But if you want to make a name for yourself, if you want to, turn the page of what right now the narrative is about you, you have to go out there tonight and you have to make something happen with the Jackson Dart and company. Not just tonight, because that ain't gonna just do it for me. I'm gonna be real with you. But then we have this Eagle matchup on Thursday, and we're gonna need your best then and there. So right now, man, I am calling on Coach Dable for you to go out on your shield. Put a good game from start to finish. From start to finish. And help this team be in the best position to succeed. I need convincing wins. I don't want wins that says, "Oh man, the New York Giants survived another week." I need convincing wins that says, "You know what? the New York Giants believe. The New York Giants right now is carrying on the momentum that they have gained from this Charger game. That is what I need, man. I don't think that we are going to lose to the Saints. I don't think that the Saints are a better team than us. Okay? I'm not going in there just like, bullheaded. I already put it out there. Like, the way I'm approaching each game for the rest of the season is that we're going to have to earn each and everything. So, with that being said, point blank period, that is the type of time that I'm on. Go earn everything. Go out there, build off this momentum. I don't want to hear no excuses. I'm going to have my post-game live stream after the game, and I expect it to be a conversation about us winning. If in any world it is we lose this game, I don't want anybody in my chat talking about any excuses. I don't want anybody trying to defend Coach Dable. I don't want any of that noise. We're going to be holding heads accountable. I don't even want to talk about a loss. What I want to do is go out there with big blue energy. For those in the chat that said they were at the game, make sure that y'all represent. And we're going to make sure that we are carrying that energy even at home. And so that is pretty much that on that. So, again, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for rocking with us for another Big Blue crossover. All right? We will see y'all after the game. Shout out to my guy Big Dash in the building. I see you. New York Giants salute. It's go time, man. It is go time. So we'll holler at y'all. And until next time, of course, I gotta always say, fee fi fo fum.